Hey, this is Christian, and you're listening to the 5 Moves of Doom podcast, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has been our annual 2 weeks after Mania off. Jack always wanted a WWE off season. We have a 5-mod off season for 2 weeks after Mania, while we all go off and do what we need to do for WrestleMania. But we are back. This is the 5 Moves of Doom podcast. This is the 5-mod show. I am your host. My name is Ben, and as I just alluded to, I'm being joined by Jack.
Oh, we're back.
It's been a while.
Oh.
No, he's like, gonna come from lower. Oh, we'll talk about that later on. How are you?
I am good, Ben. It's been a long time.
I must say, I saw your tweets the other day about watching as much wrestling in a 2-week period as we ever have done.
I watched so much.
I loved every single second of it.
Yes, it's been crazy. I've watched this Mania just gone twice. I watched 2 other Manias, 2 other Rumbles, NXT, a couple of NXT takeovers. It was insane.
The entirety of Kyrie's back catalogue.
Yes, I watched that on my own the other night.
Yeah. Brilliant. What a 2 weeks, and it's been fantastic. What did you think to Mania?
It was a great show.
I loved it.
Great show.
I know for long-standing listeners of the show, I do say this most years, but it was the best one. It's been the best one for a while.
I was thinking about this the other day. They've knocked the pay-per-views this past year out of the park. Like, nearly 9 times out of 10 is a great show. Look at the Rumble was best one.
It was brilliant, yeah.
Mania was great. SummerSlam, I think, can't remember what happened, but I think it was good.
It was probably brilliant. Do you think, though, that might be a thing of, over the past 10 years, they've lowered the bar?
Yeah.
So then now they've gone, actually, maybe that was Vince's master plan. 10 years of shit.
and everything's going
to be brilliant by comparison. Right, before we jump into the show, let me ask you people to head over to your chosen social media platform of choice, Jack.
Spotify.
No.
Twitter.
Twitter. Make sure you're following us on Twitter.
Gets me all confused in that question.
We are 479 followers. Let's hit 500 followers on Twitter. Let's do that. And when you've done that, make sure wherever you listen to your podcasts on, make sure you're following us on there. Jack, there's a podcast platform. iTunes, we're on there. Make sure you're following it so you don't miss an episode. And brand new for this year of wrestling, only a week old. Make sure you head over to 5mod.com to stay up to date with all of your wrestling news. We have got reviews, we have got show recaps, we have got breaking news, we have got editorial opinion pieces, we've got a whole team behind us now.
Jesus!
It's not just these 2 idiots anymore, we've got a whole team of people.
There's more of us!
Yes, we're multiplying. Jack went on holiday for 2 weeks, came back and I put a team together. But make sure you're following 5mod.com for all of your wrestling news.
Breaking news that we're telling the listeners now, man.
We managed.
We did say.
For the first time in my career, managed to break some news the other day regarding Kid Lycos. Shout out to Kid Lycos. Retiring at the age of 22, man.
Heartbreaking.
Oh, absolutely amazing wrestler as well. So I had the joy of seeing him live many a time. Absolutely legend. So make sure you do that. Some sad news though, as people that will be after the 5 Moves of Doom t-shirt are no longer able to get it out the minute.
They was limited.
We are working on getting the next batch of them sorted out, but at the minute we do not have a place to buy our merch. Right, that was a big intro. Before we get into everything that's happened this week, it's been 2 weeks since WrestleMania. Let's hear my 5-second review.
This is WrestleMania 5 seconds review. The rules are simple. You get 5 seconds maximum for each match, plus a match rating. You get 10 seconds at the end to sum up the entire show. Match ratings range from the 1 single move of doom all the way up to the coveted 5 moves of doom prize rating. And match reviews, match opinions and match ratings are final. This is WrestleMania 35. I am the heel faction, Ben Siddle. Wish me luck here, guys. Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese. Feel like Murphy could do a lot more for the division, but the match was a pretty good opener for WrestleMania. 3 stars. The Revival versus the Major Brothers. This could have been huge if they had actually put in some TV time beforehand. Okay, the match was pretty good nonetheless, but still would have liked that story. 2 stars. Andre the Giant Battle Royale. This was, well, it was what it was, really. What more can you say? 1 single star. Women's Battle Royale. What in the world must Asuka do to be taken seriously? Fair play to Carmella though, nice little win for her, 1.5 stars. Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. If he's not on last then he's not sticking around to find out what happens, is he? Great start to the show that nobody, aside from the Rockstar, saw coming, 3.5 stars. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. As I wasn't in the stadium, I actually got to see this match and I really liked it. Who said Randy Orton was done in 2019? 3.5 stars. The Usos versus Ricochet and Aleister Black versus The Bar versus Rusev and Nakamura. This was a very fun Fatal 4-Way match and the Usos deserved their moment as well. 3.5 stars. Shane McMahon versus The Miz. With 1001 of Shane's famous worked punches, a huge final spot to steal the show, and one overly eager dad, what else can you say? 2.75 stars. Boston Hug versus the Divas of Doom versus the Iconics versus the Samoa Smash Sisters. Well, we all thought they were there to take the pin, didn't we? But no, the Iconics stole it in a way only the Iconics could. 2.5 stars. Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. Call me a mark, but simply put, this was the greatest Mania moment since HBK retired Ric Flair. Perfect match as well. Match of the night on top of that. 5 stars. Absolute classic. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. Not a lot you can say about a 30-second match. I hope Rey's injury isn't too bad. No rating. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. An expected result, but that takes nothing away from a hard-hitting, tough matchup. Drew needs something big next though to stop himself fading away. 2.5 stars. Triple H versus Batista. The finish fell a bit flat after a very brutal opening to a very, very good street fight. Very nice way to say goodbye to the animal. 3 stars. Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. I adore Finn Balor, regardless of the demon or not, but he has zero chemistry with Bobby Lashley, so I am pleased to see this done, and I was pleased to see it was fast. 1.5 stars. Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. Hard to watch Kurt Angle these days, so it's probably for the best that this was his last match. Nice rub for Baron Corbin, but shouldn't have been on the card at all this match. 1.5 stars. And the main event, Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Botch finish or not, this had to end the right way, and it did. A very good triple threat match and well deserving of the main event. Girls, you did the women proud. 4 stars. All in all, WrestleMania 35 ticked a lot of boxes that we were all expecting this year, despite little to no build in the weeks preceding it. The whole night looked and felt like a big deal, and the 3 matches that we were all tuning in to see all finished the right way. All things considered, WrestleMania 35 in 2019 is getting 3.5 stars. Well, that was WrestleMania 35, summed up in as quickly as I could possibly do it. I hope I've done it justice. Before you all disappear, make sure that you hit that subscribe button in order to make sure you listen to all the content that we put out for you. And if you did enjoy this episode, hit that like button so that we know the things that you like. I've been Ben. See you later. WrestleMania, man.
Dude, you give it 3.5 stars?
It's the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you said it was the best ever.
Yeah, but I say that every year, man. I said that for 27. And that was the worst ever. I think all in all, the highlights were high, but there were some questionable things there. Lashley and Finn wasn't amazing. Kurt Angle, Baron Corbin wasn't great.
Yeah.
I probably rated the tag matches a bit higher than they were, but I think all in all, when you look at it all, it was a more positive than negative.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3.5, maybe a 4 on reflection, but it was really good.
Really good.
Right, let's do this week's show. That was 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago since WrestleMania. It's flown by. This week we had the Superstar ShakeUp.
Oh,
What do you think? Overall, what do you think?
oh, it's best shake-up ever.
Was
I'm
it?
putting it out there.
Was it?
I'm putting it out there.
It made the most sense.
It was best shake-up ever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The question we want to know is who won.
SmackDown one.
Let's go through who got who. Raw on Monday night we saw that Raw got The Miz, Ricochet, Aleister Black, the Viking Experience. Talk about that in a minute.
Ooh.
Cedric Alexander, Andrade and Zelina Vega, Rey Mysterio, The Usos, Naomi, EC3, Eric Young, Lacey Evans, and the phenomenal AJ Styles. You know SmackDown?
How do you SmackDown?
Yeah?
SmackDown Live got Finn Balor, Lars Sullivan, Ember Moon, Bayley, Buddy Murphy, Elias, Roman Reigns, Liv Morgan, Apollo Crews, Mickey James, Chad Gable, and Kari Bloody Sane.
The minute Asuka's music went off, I had a text ready to send you. I was like, happy? And then when I didn't get a reply for a good hour, 2 hours, I was like, oh my god, he's having a day. He's having a day. You think SmackDown won it?
Yes.
Why?
Kari Sane.
Simply because Kari Sane.
Sorry, man.
Yeah?
Right, we'll take Kari out of it.
We will talk about Kyrie in a minute. I'm not going to make you completely forget her. I agree. I think SmackDown won it because I think
yes, I'm still going to think so.
Because I think if you look at the people that went to SmackDown, they're the people that needed the move.
Yeah.
But if you look at the people that went to Raw, they're people that didn't necessarily need the move, rather than Raw needed them. If you know, I think they moved the people to Raw simply because they wanted to get some people over to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And they think, well, who can we send? They were never going to send Seth.
No.
Afterwards, it wasn't actually mentioned on either day, but we can assume that Samoa Joe has gone to Raw.
Yes.
Because Finn went the other way, but apparently Joe was ill at the time and couldn't appear. So, yeah, Finn Balor needed something new. I didn't necessarily feel like this was a resurgence of Finn Balor or a completely new look and feel to Finn Balor, but at least it's something.
Oh, I liked it.
Oh, they can build that mid card around him now.
Yeah.
There's no like 15 other people on the mid card they've got to worry about.
Yeah.
Buddy Murphy, again, he can be involved in that. Elias, it's a new stage for him.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, I fear that they're going to make Roman Reigns the only thing on SmackDown.
Well, who else has he got? He's got Randy?
What? Daniel Bryan.
Kofi.
Last 4 in the main event.
And biggest face on SmackDown. Male-wise. Kevin Owens.
For now.
I still think he's going to be huge.
He's about to turn and destroy the New Day.
I hope not, man. I really don't. I think it could be a massive face.
I think he could be a massive face, but he's going to.
Oh, I hope not.
He turned on Zayn. He turned on Jericho.
I think it's just giving him something to do.
I think
if they turn him now, it's a mistake.
I think you'll get 2 months of face face Owens with the New Day, supporting Kofi as Kofi goes through a run with.
I don't think it'll last.
Elias.
I didn't think it. I thought it was just going to be like maybe a 2-week job. That'd be it.
What, Kevin Owens?
In the New Day.
Tell you what, I did worry. I worried that they were going to drop the title back to Daniel Bryan on the SmackDown after.
As soon as he won it at Mania, that's what I thought.
I thought, you know what, they've done this for the moment, and they're going to drop it back.
Zack Ryder, IC title.
Yes. I also thought the same about Zack Ryder with the tags. Yeah. Maybe they did it to give Kurt Hawkins his moment and then drop it back to the Revival. Here we go, we carry on with the rest of the week. But no, they didn't. I wanted to. The things I've got 4 points that came out of the shake-up. Sanity, Riot Squad, and Rude and Gable are all now broken up. Are we bothered?
Not massively.
I'm gutted about Sanity.
Yes.
Because they never really got a fair crack on the main roster. But at the same time, they never really got a crack on the main roster, so we didn't really lose anything. Exactly. You have to treat NXT as a separate thing. And as a result of that, for people that don't want NXT UK spoilers, Alexander Wolf has joined Marcel Bartel, Walter, and Fabian Eichner in the WWE's version of Ring Camp, which is only fucking good. Ring Camp are amazing. I have seen them wrestle live many a time, so I'm all for that. Riot Squad, not really that bothered, and Rude and Gable, couldn't care less.
I've heard 2 things about Liv Morgan. One, she's going to be an enhancement. Are we talking about it? We're going to be touching on it. Can we talk about it right now?
Let's go for it.
Let's
Talk
go
about
on.
Liv.
I saw that she's going to be an enhancement talent, and she's set for a big push. What's it going to be?
Can't do both.
Can't do.
You can't do. So she's going to have a big push by losing
all the time
to Nia Jax every week. I'd read the same thing about the push. In fact, I reported it personally on 5mod.com. Is that Vince quite likes her crazy look and the uniqueness of her look and that.
Yes.
And the craziness of it, and they can use that and push that. I don't think she's going to get anywhere near the titles.
I'm sure. I don't mind them pushing her. She's so young. I think she's only 24.
Like early 20s, yeah.
I think she's got what? Another 8 years at least. So give her another couple of years and see where she is.
I think, with that respect, why break her up from the Riot Squad now?
Exactly. I'm so torn on it.
If you think back to the women's Battle Royal at Mania, and then imagine on the night of the ShakeUp, I said to you, one person out of the Riot Squad's got to go. It wouldn't have been Liv that you chose to move out. It'd have been Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan's the one that doesn't quite fit the look.
Yeah.
Because Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan have got this Harley Quinn mental look going on, and then Sarah Logan's a Viking. Which apparently we're big on now.
Yeah, it's a thing. She's going to join them.
Well, she's married to one of them, isn't she?
It all makes sense, man.
I don't know.
She's going to be in the Viking experience.
Well, you know what?
Ruby's going solo.
Maybe Ruby's going to be the enhancement talent.
Oh no.
So yeah, you would have assumed if you were going to give Liv the time to mature and grow and become a great wrestler,
she's got potential to do it.
Oh, definitely. She's got she's blonde. That's what Vince likes. She's got. So if you were going to take someone out of it, you'd have taken Sarah Logan out and kept.
I 100% agree.
So I don't know, unless they've got something specific designed or in mind for Liv Morgan.
They must have something, but
this is going to be my other point, my last point. I mean, we'll talk about your mate in a minute.
My mate.
Your mate.
Bezzy.
But the other point I was going to mention is that before WrestleMania, we were going, SmackDown's got nothing in that women's division.
Yeah.
They'd moved Charlotte and Becky to Raw leading up to Mania to promote that match, and SmackDown had nothing, leaving Asuka with nothing to do apart from a bit part in the Rumble match. But now,
I think that's what they did. I think they said, right, the Raw tag division that's stacked.
Yeah.
And let's throw all the good women on.
So we focus the women on SmackDown, and we focus the tags on Raw.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all.
Because now they've got Mickie James, they've got Kyrie, they've got Asuka, Ember Moon, Bayley. You would assume Charlotte's still on there because she hasn't moved, has she? I have to keep double checking my list.
No, Charlotte's still
Charlotte moved. You would assume that Liv Morgan's going to be on there. You'd assume that Becky's going to be on Raw.
You also got Carmella, who's quite a big star.
Carmella. So that's one heck of a. They've got enough people in that SmackDown Women's division to have a title feud, a secondary feud, and then the tag feud will go across both brands.
Yes.
Because the Iconics in there as well. So should the Iconics drop the belts, they're going to be in and around and be used.
Who's Raw got?
I tell you.
I think Becky will like. I like what they're doing with Becky at the minute. She's going both brands. I really like that.
Do you think that Becky? Do you think they're going to make her defend both titles and she'll lose one and keep one?
That's what I think. Yeah.
What was the point then? Do you know what I mean?
They're not going to unify him, man.
I don't. I think they should not necessarily have a unification, but I think 1 week she only comes out with one belt, and then she just refers to her as the Women's SmackDown, and then they come up with something new for SmackDown. Do you know what I mean? Like you suggested before Mania, we did the Women's Universal Championship, or you could have you can call it a Women's Heavyweight. The fucking millennials are going mad. But you know what I mean? Have a different world title. If you had the WWE Women's Championship, you could have the World Women's Wrestling Championship as well. Yeah. Same belt, same level, different name. Like the Undisputed and the World Heavyweight. I think that's what they should do, because I think if you risk Becky defending both in one night and winning one and losing one,
I don't think it should be in one night.
Well, how else are they going to do it?
Well, I think she's got 2 number 1 contenders now, hasn't she? I'm sure she has.
Lacey and on SmackDown.
What happened? It was a tag match, wasn't it?
It ended up in an 8-person tag, wasn't it?
It looks to me like it's going to be Ember Moon or Bailey that goes after.
I hope it's Bailey.
Also got Charlotte.
I think they desperately need to keep Charlotte and Becky apart. And I'm not saying, keep them apart because when they come back together it'll be amazing. I'm like, no, keep them apart. Which is why Becky will go Raw.
Yes, which is why you're not going to like me saying this. You're really not. But I'm going to try because I haven't got anything better in my head, in my noggin at the minute. Charlotte takes the Women's SmackDown title.
What, off of Becky? It ain't going to happen.
Then you've got Purpose on SmackDown then full time.
But why not have anyone on that list we just said would be more of a sensible suggestion than Charlotte at the minute?
Why?
Because otherwise, what was the point in her winning the belt off of Asuka to drop it to Becky just to win it back? What was the point in her putting it on the line in that triple threat? It makes the whole secondary point of that match, of the greatest women's match for the sake of profile, mute and pointless.
But I can't see another challenger on SmackDown other than Charlotte at the minute taking it off Becky.
I'd go Bailey or Ember Moon would be my choices. You could easily. It doesn't have to be. Don't forget, if the goal is just get the belt off of Becky so that she can go and be the focal point on Raw, but we still need a title on here. You don't need some amazing 6-month story arc. You don't need a Becky Ronda story or a Becky Charlotte story. You could just have tonight we name a number 1 contender. It's going to be a fatal 5-way between Ember Moon, Bailey, Liv Morgan, Mickie James, and Charlotte. And look at that, Ember Moon has pinned Mickie James. Right, and then
if Ember Moon takes it off Becky, I'm still like, well, you know what I mean? It makes more sense for me to Charlotte to take it off her.
See, it's not because I don't like Charlotte, because believe me, I've said this a lot, I do like Charlotte, I genuinely do. But I think, again, this is 4th time in 6 months.
She's only going to be a transitional champion as well.
That's not the point. The point is she's lost 4 times to Becky in 6 months.
Yeah, but you could have it.
But there's only so many times she can do the same.
I'm not saying it's going to be an epic match. It's going to be.
It'll probably be an amazing match. But there's only so many times she can come out. There's only so many times she can come out and go, I'm better than Becky, when you keep losing to her.
Money in the Bank! Charlotte wins Money in the Bank, man.
That would be a waste.
Charlotte wins Money in the Bank. She gets the SmackDown title off Becky.
I think Money in the Bank should be used to push a certain Liv Morgan. If they want it to be big, because she could carry that for a year and not do anything with it, like Carmella did. We'll talk about. We'll get into that in a bit. We'll talk Money in the Bank in a bit.
Oh no, man! What if Charlotte and Becky go at Money in the Bank? Charlotte wins. Liv Morgan cashes in on Charlotte. And we all think, you bastards, you've done it again. You've given Charlotte the belt, you absolute hordes. And then Liv comes out and nowhere cashes in.
If Charlotte is the person to beat Becky, that needs to happen. Whoever it is, instant cash in. But I'd just keep Charlotte and Becky miles apart. They don't need it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know when they kept doing Roman and Braun? And we were like, this first did Roman and Braun. We were like, alright then, yeah, no problem. And then they did it again. We were like, okay, yeah, 2 guys going at it. And then they did it again. And we were like, alright then, they've got one more big spot in them.
Yeah.
And then they had a break. And we did Mania. And we did Roman versus Brock at 34. And then after Mania, we did it again. I was like, oh, okay, now we're bored. And then they did Roman and Brock again. And you're like, Roman and Braun again. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Charlotte is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. The other one is Becky Lynch. They are amazing, but the more and more you do it, the more time she comes out and says, I'm better than Becky, even though you keep losing to her, the more damage it will do to her. She's not untouchable, man.
I think that I called this thing I'm about to say quite a few times on this podcast. This is where creative needs to be creative. Because if it's not going to be Charlotte, I worry what Charlotte's going to do. Because I can't come up with it off the top of my head if she's not in that title picture. Because if she starts jobbing to like Bailey, or I was going to say Elias then, but obviously won't be jobbing to him. If she starts
no, because Eli's down for everyone.
she starts lying down for Bailey and Liv Morgan and stuff, she's gonna drop.
But it would depend on, like you say, if creative are being creative and coming up with storylines and coming up with the work, then I think she'll be fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't have the faith in.
That's just WWE creative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I hope I'm wrong.
I just think, and it's not because I hate Charlotte. I don't hate Charlotte. I love Charlotte. She is. If she's 1A, best wrestler in the world, women's wrestler in the world, then Becky's 1B. You know what? They are as good as each other in terms of ability and presence and ring work and mic work and everything. And you know what? If they hadn't done anything with them for a year, I'd go, yeah, of course. If this was still match number 4, but it had been 8, 10, 12 months, I'd go, yeah, of course, drop it to Charlotte. But the fact that they've just done it, and the last 6 months has just been all Charlotte and Becky, because Ronda was on a different show. Yeah, so I just think that it's not that I don't think that Charlotte and Becky would be brilliant, because I'm sure them, not even they're going to be creative, I'm sure them two would find another way of doing it.
Yeah.
I just fear that Charlotte's going to come out and do the same promo that she's done for the past 6 months and then lay down for Becky again and then still come out at the other side saying I'm the best wrestler in the world. I mean, if they'd have done the same matches and the same programs over 3 years, it would still have that same punch. But they've done the same program over 6 months, and Charlotte's in danger of being really stale.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
She's in danger of that anyway. So that's why they need to come up with something good for her.
But on the other side, though, you say you worry about Charlotte. If she's not champion, what's she going to do? I worry that if she carries on being champion all the time, she's going to be defined by the fact that she's champion.
I think she already is. I really do.
You might be right. Outside of I am the champion, she hasn't got anything going for her at the minute. Because the only other thing she's got is a figure 4 leg lock, a woo, a strut, and a chop. And she didn't come up with all of them. Nate didn't come up with all of them. He borrowed them off Buddy. What was the first one? Who was the first Nature Boy? Oh, it was the first Nature Boy. I should know this. Buddy Rogers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Original Nature Boy. He was the one that came up with Nature Boy and the robe and everything. And people had used the figure 4 before Ric Flair. So the fact that Charlotte is now 4 out of her 5 character traits she got from her dad, who got from someone else, it gets watered down. Okay, she does a figure 8 instead of figure 4. Fair enough, she evolved that to her character. And natural selection, fantastic move, she should use that more. But I think if you, at the minute, outside of I am the champion, she's got anything.
That's why I'm worried. That's why I think if Charlotte's not in this main event title picture, I'm worried what she's going to do.
But in that case, I would say, well, don't put the championship on her now. If she can't swim without it, then maybe she's not.
I'm not saying she can't. I'm saying creative can't.
Well, there is that.
Listen, I can't come up with something off the top of my head. You know what I mean? If you
I have to pair her with someone who will put on a 5-star match.
Yeah, but if you're asking me for a detailed story, because I think that's what she's going to need with somebody.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think the missing person in action could have been that person, but who knows where she's going to turn up.
Mrs. Banks?
Mrs. Banks.
Well.
Because I don't think I'd put her on SmackDown.
Sasha won't be on SmackDown. They're going to keep Sasha away from Bailey just to be like, right, you want to be a kid? Right, you're no longer working with your mate. That's what they're going to do. And you know what? I'm not going to be the first person to say this online. I'm not going to be the last person to say this online. I've been a big advocate for Sasha. I think she gets a lot of hate that she doesn't deserve. But right now, pile the shit on her.
Yeah.
Pile it onto her. Because what she's done, if this is true, and what's happened over Mania weekend and the week after Mania, then that is borderline pathetic.
That's what I said. I didn't say it to you, but I said it to somebody. It is pathetic. I think she's disrespected everybody that's been asked the job. And stuff like that. You think of like, it's like Roddy, for example.
Yeah.
He got shit on. And the amount of people that just say, you know what, that's my job, I'm going to get on with it. Keep my head
I'm
down,
not happy about it.
but I'm going to do it because that's what the company wants me to do.
Well, for the people that don't know, what Sasha apparently tried to quit over WrestleMania weekend. We don't know if it was at the show, before the show, after the show, like on the Raw or whatever. Apparently, she had it in her head. She was told that her and Bayley's first date, the first run, the inaugural tag team champions, would be a lengthy one to establish the belts. Then she was told she was losing in the match, which she was like, Apparently, from what I've heard, all right, then no problem who am I losing to. Yeah. And when they said you're jobbing to the Iconics, that's when she padded. Because out of the 4 teams in there, they were the ones we all thought were there to take the pin, weren't they, the Iconics?
Yeah, but it all made sense for the Iconics to win.
I loved it.
I
absolutely adored it.
Yeah, exactly.
So in response to that, Sasha tried to quit, was talked out of it, has now been given time off to think about her future. She then apparently laid down on the locker room floor, getting in people's way, with Bayley to protest it. Mm-hmm. She made it very public backstage that she wasn't very happy about it. And the thing is as well, I don't know, I wasn't there, I wasn't in the room, but I get the feeling that she's dragging Bayley down with her as well. Mm. It's not Bayley going, oh, should we do this?
Yeah.
And it's all because she was asked to job to someone else. Not even job, just laying down in a match. It's not necessarily jobbing out.
No, it's not.
And then the other thing is, apparently, even though I think it was Dave Meltzer reported this week, is that they did know prior to Mania that after Mania the team would be disbanded to go their separate ways, but they didn't realise that Bayley would have been moved to SmackDown. I seem to think in my head, because I'm a guy that does this, I think they've moved Bayley to SmackDown to be away from Sasha.
Yeah.
Whether that's to protect Bayley or to punish Sasha or whatever. Just the last little bit. There was a report came out yesterday that says to sweeten the pot with Sasha, because they are desperate for her not to go to AEW, is that they might give her a big win in the coming months.
Yes.
So
I
make of that what you want. What do you reckon?
I think she's just I think she thinks she's way better than she is. And I've always had this problem with Sasha. I love her to bits. I think her whole gimmick's fantastic. Amazing. As you know, I've always loved her.
Yeah.
But I do think she thinks she's a megastar when she isn't. And you look at what she's accomplished, first ever with Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
First ever women's tag team champions.
Yeah.
First to do all that stuff with Charlotte.
Yeah.
She's been given that.
Yeah.
And she's moaning and moaning and moaning and moaning. It's just like, if you want to go, just go. That's what I'd say. If you want to, there's the door.
No, I wouldn't. And again, big fan of Sasha. I like her gimmick. I think her gimmick sometimes, her whole gimmick is, I'm a fan of Eddie Guerrero. Which, fair enough. You know what? You've made that work. She is an amazing talent. She's a fantastic wrestler. There's always been that stuff about her and her fans, and does she sign up? Whatever. But I think.
And sorry to interrupt, but do you think the Alexa Bliss thing has come into it as well?
The things on Twitter.
They legit dislike each other.
I think maybe on some level, and this isn't just aimed at Sasha, I think if you had somebody that you genuinely disliked, and that person was getting pushed, you'd find that hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If me and you were working for WWE and we didn't get on, and they were pushing me to the moon, you'd be like, I fucking hate Ben. Why is he in the main event? Why I fucking hate him? And I think that would rub anyone the wrong way. So maybe that has rubbed Sasha the wrong way. In her head, like every wrestler wants to be, I want to be in the main event. I want to be in the. I want to be that. I want to be the person they build this company around. And when it wasn't her, it's going to hurt her. And when it is the one person she dislikes or they don't get on, it hurts her even more. In terms of what I'd do with her, if this is true. Because she has, since Twitter, on Instagram, there's a picture of her and Bayley celebrating with the Iconics. And then there was a tweet that said, if you only knew the truth, you're all marks, or something to them words. If this is all true, I wouldn't release her. I just wouldn't use her. Do you know what I mean? I'd go, fair enough. Go and sit at home. You're not going to be building your profile on my money, but you're also not going to AEW. You've got 2 years left of your contracts. I'll see you in a bit. Do you know what I mean? Why release? That's what if she wants to be released. Yeah. Because don't forget, Vince and WWE not necessarily scared, but they don't want their big assets walking out the door because they're going to go straight to Cody and go, "What you got?" Because Sasha's already stopped following WWE and started following AEW on Twitter. So you're saying she thinks she's a megastar. She would be in AEW.
Oh, without that,
she would be the woman in AEW.
But.
Because of WWE.
Whether that company takes off or not is a completely different argument.
Sidetrack, did you see Hall of Fame?
I did, yes.
Did you see Triple H's comments about AEW? Have you realised they've been taken off of the network?
I have seen it.
He'll buy that pissant company just to fire us.
I thought it was a little cheap.
Triple H
AEW's tried to distance himself from WWE. You know what?
Yeah, it went. Trips have brought it up. Because Billy Gunn brought it up. Know what I mean?
He was also on about the chance as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But that's nothing to do with AEW. That's
I don't know.
nice go. I just thought it was a little. They haven't mentioned you, so don't mention them.
But that again, like you said, that's the mistake they made with WCW. WCW never mentioned them, and then WWF did the Billionaire Ted sketches, and everyone went to see if it was true, and then didn't come back for a couple of years. Oh, so Sasha, man.
Where's she gonna end up? If
she's Raw.
If she's gonna get this big win,
She's gonna win Money in the Bank.
what, 2? We're gonna have 2.
No, there'll be one women's winner and one men's winner. That's not what I think will happen. That's not what I think should happen. But I think WWE will be thinking...
We can't have 4.
What?
We can't have 4 Money in the Bank matches.
There'll be 2.
No, that's what I'm saying.
There'll be a men's and a women's.
They can't have 1 for each show.
There'll be one men's and one women's. And then, which I like, then they can tease people turning up on the other show. I think WWE will be sat in that office now going, how can we make her stay? We don't want to make her angry. We don't want her to leave. But if we... because Vince isn't somebody that will send somebody to sit at home. That's just what I'd do to be petty. Vince is very much, if I'm paying you, you'll work. And, okay, how can we make you happy to stop you in on Twitter? Oh, let's give you the briefcase. We don't have to do anything with you in that briefcase for 6 months. But you can get a nice win at Money in the Bank. And that'll be that. I don't think that should happen. But I could see that possibly will be the situation. What do you think?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah? Right. Do you want to talk about her?
What else we got, man? It's a stack show.
Well, as we've been talking about the women quite a lot, we're going to talk about Money in the Bank a little bit later on. We're going to give you the results of our predictions for WrestleMania, our little contest we have 1v1. I've not even written them down because I know who won. Yeah, you're gonna.
Obviously me.
Yeah, you're gonna like it a lot more than me. And then we've got some questions at the end. So right now, while we're sticking with the women, it was a very women-heavy episode. Kairi Sane.
Oh, here we go.
Kairi Sane.
As you all been waiting with bated breath.
He didn't do anything. She debuted on SmackDown. She's a main roster bound now. She debuted as a tag team member with Asuka. Ran by Paige. What do you think? The floor is yours.
Okay. I'm alright with it.
Yeah?
I'm alright with it. I think it was a smart move. And they seem to work together well. It might take time. I think she was a little confused, bless her, because it was a 8-women tag match. And
yeah.
I don't think they've ever worked together. Ever. Don't think they've ever had a match outside of the company.
I couldn't find anything.
No, so...
After we spoke the other day, I did a bit of digging. I couldn't find any. I might be wrong, but I couldn't find anything.
Asuka was never in Stardom. I think they was in 2 different companies.
Yeah.
That's why. But it can work. And I think Vince has already got one eye on the feud.
Yeah.
Potentially. That's where it could easily go. Asuka could... And the thing is, imagine this. Asuka turns on Kairi, and Asuka's a fucking bitch. Absolutely
full Asuka
dominates her.
Yeah.
And you heartbroken for Kairi. And that's where Kairi is best. She can sell her ass off, and you feel for her more than anyone.
Yeah.
You're heartbroken for her. And that's how you build her as that megastar, because how good her selling is. And but in the short term, liked how big of a pop she got. I like that part where the crowd sung her along to a little theme tune, which was lovely.
Let me ask you this before you go on.
What?
Did you sing her theme tune?
I did.
I thought you would have done.
after I picked myself off the floor. The major thing I have got though. Oh wait, she also got the big finish in the pin, which
she
was
did.
nice.
She got the big.
Which is a big thing for Vince to say. Yep, go and do it.
Yeah.
Paige.
See, I knew this was coming. Granted, only because you texted me the other day, but I knew this was coming. Do you want me to say my bit on Paige first?
Yeah, sure, man.
I'll say this. I have the same sort of, probably not to the same depth, but I have the same sort of thoughts as you did. Like, I don't get it. I don't know what the connection is. Why have they put Paige in charge? Like, not in charge, but as the mouthpiece. But then I sort of thought about maybe 2 or 3 things. The first one is, and it shouldn't be like this, but it is, there's this misconception with management and with the fans, is if you can't cut a coherent, decent promo, you're not going to get over. I think that's bullshit. But I think for the sake of that instant connection with fans, Asuka and Kairi, they both speak English, but they've got that strong Japanese accent.
Yeah,
Sometimes it can be.
in 2 years, Kairi will be able to cut her own promo.
Yeah. But for right now, I think pairing them with somebody that can do the talking for them is a great decision.
Yeah.
On the other hand...
But not Paige.
No, but... my other point number 2, is they want to keep Paige around.
Yeah,
they've just put all the money in...
Vince
likes her. They've just put all the money into the film. Even without the film, I don't think they were just going to go wish her well after her untimely retirement.
Yeah.
What else is she going to do?
I know it's here. What she does.
Just not this.
That's not this.
Point number 3 is, who else was there to be the voice of them? They need someone.
Well, my argument would be they don't. I think Kairi's good enough to get over on her own. I think her mannerisms and everything like that, she's so charming that she'll get over. I
think the one thing that's held Asuka back on main is the fact that Vince thinks she can't speak good enough English. I think that's bullshit. But it doesn't matter whether me and you think that. The fact is that Vince thinks that because they're Japanese.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the fact they don't speak English, just like their accents maybe some people struggle to understand. Some of them will be a bit more broken. They need somebody to be that voice of it. I've not got a problem with it being Paige, personally. Who else is going to be there?
I just have this horrible thought that Paige is not going to care. She's only going to see him for a little while, talk over what they're going to do that night, and that's Paige will swan off and go take photos with Ronnie or the other women.
Yeah.
That's what I fear. I really do. I think they need someone that's going to be with them and say, right, because let's be real, that's what I always also thinking. Kairi and Asuka don't really know each other.
No.
Kairi's going in. Obviously, she went to NXT on her own and stuff like that. But Kairi knew everybody in NXT, so there's no one really to, other than like the Iconics that she knows.
There's no one sort of like.
This is how we do it on the main roster.
Yeah.
This is
buddy her sort of thing. Buddy system. That's what we call it. The day-to-day job. I agree with that. I mean, what do you think about the theory? The other thing is right. Let me put it to you this way. The reason they're a tag team is because they're both Japanese.
I don't have a problem with it. Shoot me, but I don't. It's like the we're getting this supposed faction with Ray and Almas and
Sin Cara, he's still a thing.
I thought it was Lindsay Dorado.
Oh, I've seen Sin Cara.
Oh, it's Sin Cara, but that's what I thought. Yeah. So I don't really have a problem with it. People are like, oh, you're only doing it because of that. So, well...
Would you not just like a little bit of reasoning?
Well, they're going to band together anyway. Look at all the Japanese people on this roster.
Yeah.
They all go out together and they all mingle together.
Yeah.
So why not? You know what I mean? It's not racist or anything like that.
Oh, well, I'm not suggesting it is racist, but I think
yeah.
in terms of any tag teams getting together,
I
would like a reason.
They could easily say, look, if we're taking the Asuka and Kairi situation, Asuka could come out and say, I've wanted Kairi for a while.
She could say, after I lost my title, I decided I wanted the tag team championships. I needed a partner. I got the perfect partner. I went and I found Kairi. Saying that's fine. I don't mind that. I just if there's been no explanation might come. Do you know what? Paige might come out on SmackDown this week, and there might be a little bit of history as to why then.
Well, she said, I've been watching this team. It's like,
they've never been in the same room together, but yeah.
I'm also glad, sorry for interrupting, it wasn't Candice LeRae, as Meltzer was reporting. Because that would have made it even worse then.
Yeah, because LeRae's just amazing.
Very good.
But
she needs
bland.
Yes, very bland.
But so's Johnny Gargano. When you actually look at it, he's very, very
Hot
bland.
takes today. Is there anything else I want to say before I wrap all this up? I'm sure there is. I'm sure, yes, that's it. As I was trying to explain to my brother the other night, The thing is with Kyrie, there is nobody that's going to get that sympathy. Like with Asuka, with Charlotte, with Becky, they all have that. They're so badass, you know what I mean? They could go heel easily. Kyrie doesn't have that. And that's why I think she's going to benefit from that.
I texted you on the day it happened. I asked you if you were alright. You assured me you were fine. We had a bit of a chat about this, similar to our chat now. I am excited for it. I think that Asuka and Kyrie are two more of the best women's wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to mesh really well. They'll be their tag team name is going to be awful. It's going to be something like the Pirates of Tomorrow or something like that. They're going to do something. Then it's going to be some sort of merged crap, and they're not. They're going to come out separately. There we are. I'm going to jump forward slightly to the mailbox section for the end of the show because I have got a question posed to me from Jordan Cross online for you.
Okay.
So I've got a question for Jack. Kyrie is up and they in a team, but not with Io. Would you have preferred to see her as a solo act rather than a makeshift team with Asuka?
No, Mr. Jordan, no, I wouldn't. I think she's going to get lost on her own. I think that bringing her up, like I said before, in a team is smart. And bringing Io up wasn't the right time.
I kind of think that if you're going to have her in a tag team, why not have her in the established tag team that she's already in?
I agree, but I don't think this... Everyone says that. They've been bombarded with, what about the Sky Pirates? Well, Io's not ready to come up yet. She's got so much more to do in NXT. She's going to be the one to dethrone Baszler. I fully agree.
I'm fully behind the idea that Baszler's never going to drop this title.
Because... Wow. Did I text you that night?
You said something along the lines...
I sent you a video, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, after just the face, like...
What? What
in my eye... Well, I know we're going to go on a sidetrack about Baszler here, but in my mind, she's beaten everyone.
Yeah.
Who is there to dethrone Shayna Baszler?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It was such a strange decision. Strange decision.
I think it was a decision more... Rather than along the lines of... Baszler's not ready to go up. I think it's more along the lines of, oh shit, if Baszler goes up, we've got no one to fill that void. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know what's happening there.
But that's what I'll say. I don't think Io. I think it's the right call to keep Io down in NXT for the time being.
I would agree, but I think in terms of if you want Kyrie in a tag team, why not have her in the established tag team?
You bring Io up right now. You've just lost all that in NXT. And it's another one gone. It makes more sense for me to keep Io down there.
Okay.
That's just for me.
Last question on Kyrie, because I just thought of one. She is pirate. She is a well-known pirate princess.
Kyrie Mania.
At WrestleMania 36, the theme is pirates.
Dude! Oh, do you know when I seen that trailer? Man. I got to tell you, I've seen that trailer on Mania. Oh my god, I've never been so excited in my life. I'm not saying I know this is a crazy thing, but all I'm saying, it would have been perfect if they had a little animation of her just like in the crow's nest. Or something.
You know, earlier on you were like, I'm going to say something that's going to upset you, and it was about Charlotte.
Yeah.
I'm going to just get my payback now. She is the most famous wrestling pirate in the world.
It's not going to be that guy.
No. She is the most famous wrestling pirate in the world. Wrestling, the biggest wrestling show of 2020, which is pirate themed. You know she's going to lose, right?
Yeah, I don't care. Though.
It's Vince McMahon.
Listen, if she has that moment, that's all I'm asking. Just give her that moment.
She'll have a massive entrance.
You hope.
If she's in a, I mean,
Vince,
knowing Vince,
got to do the right thing. Just give her the moment. I don't care if she's in a high-profile match and she loses. I don't care if she has a massive entrance and wins the Women's Battle Royal, because if she's in it, she's going to win it.
She's not.
My God,
she's going to get eliminated by Casey Cunt.
Dude, when she was in that Women's Battle Royal, I was like, oh my God, she's going to win it. She's going to win it. There was something in me saying she's going to win it. But give her the Mania moment, man. Kyrie Mania.
You think that's why they've done it?
What, went to Tampa just for Kyrie? I would.
Oh, why not? So we're happy with Kyrie's call up in a roundabout sort of way. Yeah. We're just not happy with her manager.
Just not happy with Page
here. Right. Let's move on. Right. You know what? quickly on this one, then we'll finish off the mailbox. Who wins the 2 Money in the Bank matches? We've got a men's and a women's. I'll tell you the odds, the current odds.
Yeah.
The men's Money in the Bank match. We'll talk more in depth about the Money in the Bank match next week. Roman, Andrade, and McIntyre are all favourites at 6-1 at the minute, according to Sky Bet.
Who? Say again?
Roman Reigns, Andrade, and McIntyre are all leading the odds at 6-1. Who do you think is going to win the men's Money in the Bank?
Don't think it's going to be Roman.
I won't put it past him.
Yeah, but not with Kofi as champion in a minute. I know he could easily drop it, but I don't think.
I'm thinking someone along the lines of Joe.
I'd hope.
Andrade.
I'd love it.
On the slow burn, Andrade to carry that.
Love it, man.
And just have. He never has to touch that briefcase. He takes it down.
Don't think it should be true.
He takes it down. He hands it to Selena, and he never touches that briefcase again. The other one I thought of, and it's purely from a marketing point of view, because they can make these things and they will sell out like hotcakes. Elias, and then rather than a briefcase, he has a guitar case.
They're going to cost a lot of money to buy.
No, they'll only be little ones, model ones. I'm not talking about proper guitar cases.
Where's the guitar?
It's just a little one like that, and it's got Money in the Bank and Elias on the other side. No, they are.
I'm going to go with Elias.
Yeah,
No,
cool. And the women's one.
Who are you going with?
Oh, in the men's, Andrade.
That's my second pick, man.
And in the women's, Lacey Evans is currently favourite at 3-1. Then it's Sasha at 6-1. Then it's Charlotte at 8-1.
I think Lacey Evans was going to take on Becky. Bailey?
Becky. She's at some point. No guarantee it's at Money in the Bank.
I suppose. Kyrie's going to win Money in the Bank, man.
Who?
Kyrie.
What, and rather than a briefcase, she has a treasure chest. Print it, people will buy it.
I've already bought the bloody coins this week.
Oh, have you?
On bloody shop.com.
I need to take your internet privileges away when you're drinking, don't I? Yes.
Who else is in it? Who would you have?
I don't know who's in it. There's no one confirmed to be in it yet.
Oh, man.
Ember would be good. Bailey, just to piss Sasha off a bit more.
I think
the Iconics, just to piss Sasha off a bit more.
I think Bliss.
Bliss.
Again.
I mean, they need to decide whether Bliss is wrestling, don't they?
Yeah.
That's it.
Come
on, I'm going to push her. Give me a name. We'll talk more in depth about them in about last week.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say Sasha because that's what I think I'll do.
Nice. And we'll finish. Should we finish off with some questions?
Oh, just before we go, man. Just before we go. What a massive thing for Sami Zayn, man. Dude.
That guy is over.
Jesus.
As a heel. Did you see the it's unscripted promos? He's speaking from the heart. He hates everyone.
Oh, is he? I thought... Well, obviously there was a bit unscripted.
Apparently the one after Mania, they said to him, heel, go out there and be a heel. And he went down the whole route of, I can't fucking stand any of you. Which is brilliant. I like Sami Zayn because most heels are heel because of someone. I turned on my tag team partner. I attacked you because of this. I cost you your match because of this. Sammy has turned because he's sick and tired of the fans thinking they can run podcasts out of a living room on a Sunday afternoon.
Studio.
It used to be a living room till we converted it. Looks nice. Yeah, I'm loving Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy could be an outside shot for the men's.
If he's in it, then yeah, man.
Yeah?
Damn.
And he cashes in on Kevin Owens after Kevin Owens beats Kofi.
Damn.
Hot take. Mailbox.
Nah. KO's not turning.
He is.
No.
Oh, he is. That's what he does.
We're not going to have a heel KO versus a heel cashing. Sami Zayn cashing in on a heel KO.
We are, because then we'll all be sat there like, what?
and then
KO just lays down for it.
Finger poker to him.
Oh my god. And then they just stare at the camera. Now, who beats Seth now that Brock has been vanquished? From Samantha Moorings. Thank you, Samantha. Who's your next Universal Champion?
Oh, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, agreed. It's
the easy way to go, but
Drew can't be his first challenger because if he's his first challenger, he loses all momentum, and then welcome to the Dolph Ziggler School of Wrestling. Yeah. His first challenger will be someone along the lines of Dolph.
I'd take that half an hour Iron Man match again.
Fair.
I would.
We did the whole of that for 2018 was all Dolph and Seth.
It's great matches, man.
Oh, they were.
Are we gonna have I'm asking so many questions myself. We're gonna have AJ, Seth, and Mania next year.
Yeah, we are.
Oh yeah.
Or we're gonna have AJ and someone, and AJ will probably take it.
I hope it's not Taker. Oh man, we've not even touched on him.
We'll talk about him next week because that's a Saudi Arabia special, and we need to talk about him then because that's why he's back. Who would you put in a new faction led by Bray Wyatt should he return with an all-new Wyatt family? From Marcus Hastings. Thank you, Marcus.
All new Wyatt family. Have you seen the rumours?
No.
The rumours was it's going to be Eric Young and Nikki Cross and I think that was it. I can't remember the other one.
Don't mind the idea of Nikki Cross, as long as they don't call her sister Abigail.
No.
It has to be someone completely new that he's brainwashed. Eric Young, I like Eric Young as the maniacal leader of a group. He was brilliant at Sanity, he was brilliant at World Elite back in TNA days. I don't know how well he could do the mindless lackey role. Yeah. I'm sure he could do it brilliantly, but I think he's just better as the leader. If I had to pick two people to pair with at the minute, I don't know.
Off the top of your head.
You know who I first went to in my head, and I don't know why. It's Forgotten Sons from NXT.
I hope not.
They're quite good on their own, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to go down the road of who's got a beard as well. You know what I mean? That's what everyone does. You know what could be interesting?
Ties.
You know what could be interesting, just off the top of my head? And just because I know everybody wants them to do something else.
What?
Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah, could be interesting.
Just as the muscle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even have to be brainwashed. It's just like people have been chanting at us, team with Finn, team with AJ, oh yeah. But we always wanted to do it on our own, and we found somebody that told us that we could. We found somebody that gave us that belief.
Exactly.
He should go back to cult leader as well, Bray should, rather than maniacal superpower. Thank you for your question, Marcus.
Bring back the Hawaiian shirts.
Yes, and the preaching in the fields.
Yeah.
Which individual talent will benefit the most from the shake-up, and who do you think should have moved, who didn't? From Joe Welsh. Thank you, Joe.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Andrade.
I think agree, purely because I think they didn't really do a lot with him when he first came up, but this is a new fresh start. Also, Finn's up there. This could really do the work.
I was going to say Finn.
This could do the work. Who should have moved? Who didn't?
I looked at Bliss.
Shayna Baszler. Cole. Adam Cole should have come up.
No, he shouldn't. I'm super glad. A side note that they kept like the NXT things to a minimum.
They all ended up. Oh, apart from Lars, they all ended up on Raw as well.
And for the people bitching about the EC3 situation, give it time.
He has been managed by Drake Maverick on the house circuit shows.
Give it time, man. At least he's doing something. I think this Braun thing is not going to go away.
Oh, it is, because it's Braun and Joe. It's going to be the feud going forward. After Joe demanding competition, Joe demanded, I'm step up to. What did he say on SmackDown? Step up to me.
He can beat him up for another couple of weeks, though.
Until Joe's back. Yeah.
What was we saying? Sorry,
Joe.
Joe.
It was which talent will benefit the most from the shake-up? And
Oh,
both
yeah,
said
I was
Andrade.
gonna say-
And who do you think should have moved that didn't?
I was going to say Bliss, but having looked at the Raw Women's Division, probably disagree with that now.
Yeah. I was surprised Miz moved. Different thing.
Yeah,
He's moved in every
Shane
one.
Didn't.
He's moved in every one.
I thought that honestly, other than Kofi, I thought that was the best match at Mania.
I saw somebody online saying how that when Miz came across, attacked Shane, and they referred to it as putting the full stop at the end of their feud. I was like, was that the full stop? Was
I
it?
hope not.
Oh, he hits him with a chair when he's bleeding. He superplexed him off a fucking scaffolding at Mania. Did you not watch that? I don't think it was the second best match of the night.
Oh, it was.
Do you know what was really good, really surprisingly, for what it was the Women's Battle Royal. I enjoyed the Women's Battle Royal.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
I didn't when Bastard Right Squad, but
what can you do, man?
what can you do?
And last question we answered earlier was a question for you about Kyrie.
We've got to talk about a certain Viking.
Oh, we're going to finish on this. We saved this to last. I'll play devil's advocate because I know what you're going to say. Because we spoke about this the other day. I can understand why people are annoyed. The point is, there's nothing wrong with War Raiders. There was nothing wrong with War Machine.
Yeah.
And the argument is, they've got a WWE name. Why have they renamed it? Vince was going to call them the Berserkers, apparently, and then changed at the last minute to the Viking Experience.
I think I like the Berserkers more. I think that's crazy.
Just War Raiders has been fine.
Yeah. But if you're going to call them sort of Berserkers, ain't bad.
And they wrestled heel.
They did, yeah.
They're on the heel side of it. I think they've called them the Viking Experience is because they can then add Sarah Logan and they could add someone else and they could make it an experience where you don't know which two Vikings are going to appear.
Talking, ladies and gents. The heel faction himself.
Alright, mate, I like a heel faction. The bit I didn't like and it really annoyed me is change the name of the tag team if that's what you want to do. Then it's a shit name. I know what you're going to say. They will get past it, and if it's still their job to get over with whatever name. They just didn't need to rename them individually. Well, Eric and Ivor. It was Hanson and Rowe was brilliant. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, I did like it. That I don't agree with.
That's a bit annoyed me.
Well, I don't agree with it at all. But
no, it should have just been War Raiders.
It would have been better if it was War Raiders. I really like the Berserkers now. I think that's crazy. But my argument, as you said, it's not. It's all going to blow over.
Yeah.
People are going to forget about it. Well, you'd think. And if there was ever going to get over, they're going to get over without any name.
I think
name's not going to matter in the end if they get over.
I think Lance Storm put it best on Twitter. Did you see? He said, "Get over it. It's just a name." In 1992, The Undertaker seemed like a ridiculous name.
Exactly.
And now he's the most over acting
I'm not
wrestling.
saying Viking Experience are going to be The Undertaker.
I'm not saying they're not.
I'm not saying they're not.
Right, guys, that is about all the time we've got for you tonight on our return to podcasting after a few weeks off. If you did like the show, please make sure you do give us a like. Make sure you head over to 5mod.com to keep up with all your wrestling news and our stupid opinions. We will be back next week to talk about some more wrestling. We've got some more shows lined up, some more different stylish shows. We have got some very exciting things coming up in the near future, so make sure you're in. This is our new year.
Yes.
WrestleMania has been and gone. We are in 2019 full swing, and we have got loads and loads of plans to come for you. But in order to do them, we're going to need your support. So make sure you are sharing with your friends. Make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing. Make sure you tell everybody and their nan about the 5 Moves of Doom podcast, and we will do our best to live up to the hype. Big thank you to Jack for joining me.
Yeah.
Big thank you to you guys at home.
Ahoy.
Ahoy!
That's going to be my new... Sorry.
I'm going to end now before Jack explodes. See you later, guys.